The baby had been screaming for nearly 20 minutes. Passengers groaned, flight attendants exchanged helpless looks, and the exhausted single dad could barely keep his own tears back. But just when the tension reached its breaking point, a decorated Navy Admiral, stern, stone-faced, and feared by everyone on board, stood up, marched down the aisle, and did something no one expected. The moment the cabin doors closed, Liam knew he was in trouble. His 10-month-old daughter, Rosie, had been fighting sleep since dawn, and the stress of traveling alone as a janitor turned single dad was already clawing at his every breath. He held her close, bouncing gently, whispering prayers that she would stay calm just long enough for takeoff. But the moment the engines roared, Rosie's tiny face reddened, her little mouth trembled, and the wail exploded from her chest like a fire alarm. Heads turned, first with concern, then with annoyance. Liam's cheeks burned as he rocked her harder. "I know, princess. I know. I'm sorry," he whispered, even though she couldn't understand. His arms ached from lugging her diaper bag, bottle bag, and the stroller he left at the gate. The day was already too much. The past year had been too much. He had never expected to raise a child alone. He had never expected to be widowed at 27. Life had not asked permission before it broke him. Now, trapped 30,000 feet in the air with a crying baby and 100 judging eyes, Liam felt every insecurity sharpen like glass. A woman across the aisle muttered loud enough for him to hear, "People like him shouldn't travel with infants." Another whispered, "He probably doesn't even know what he's doing." The words landed like punches. Liam swallowed hard. He didn't know what he was doing, most days. But right now, he felt like he was drowning. Rosie screamed harder. A flight attendant approached with a sympathetic but strained smile. "Sir, maybe try walking her a little?" Liam nodded, already rising. But the narrow aisle felt like a gauntlet. Rosie's cries bounced off the walls. Passengers stared like he was personally choosing to ruin their flight. And then, just as his nerves reached breaking point, a deep voice cut through the air. "That's enough." The cabin went silent. A tall, broad-shouldered man in full navy dress blues stood up several rows ahead. His medals glinted under the cabin lights. His posture was straight, his expression unreadable. An admiral. Liam froze. The passengers held their breath. And the admiral began walking toward him. Liam instinctively took a step back, as though bracing for reprimand. But the admiral didn't scold, didn't sigh, didn't complain. Instead, he extended his arms. "May I?" he asked gently, nodding toward Rosie. Liam blinked. "Yes, sir. She's really upset. I don't want to bother." "You're not bothering me," the admiral said. "Let me help." The softness in his voice startled the surrounding passengers. He didn't wait for judgment. He didn't flinch at the noise. He only waited patiently, respectfully, for Liam to decide. Hands trembling, Liam slowly handed Rosie over. The moment the admiral held her, his entire demeanor shifted. His rigid shoulders relaxed. His authoritative presence softened. He cradled her like she was something precious, fragile yet fierce. And then he began to hum. Not loudly, not theatrically, just a low, steady melody. Gentle, familiar, almost like a lullaby from another lifetime. Rosie's cries softened, then quieted, then faded into sleepy whimpers. Within 2 minutes, she was asleep against the admiral's chest, tiny fist gripping his uniform. Gasps rippled through the cabin. The same people who had glared at Liam now stared at the admiral with wide eyes, as if witnessing a miracle. The admiral walked back to his seat, still holding Rosie. He sat down, supporting her head with one hand and patting her back with the other, moving with practiced ease. Liam stood frozen, tears threatening to spill. A flight attendant whispered to him, "Sir, that's Admiral Keaton. Decorated twice. Lost his son in service 2 years ago. He doesn't usually speak much to anyone." The information struck Liam harder than expected. Sorrow recognized sorrow. Loss recognized loss. It suddenly made sense. The tenderness, the calm, the way he held Rosie as if holding a memory. When Liam approached later to retrieve his daughter, he found the admiral gazing down at the sleeping baby with a softness that only a grieving parent could hold. "I'm sorry for the trouble, Admiral," Liam murmured. The admiral shook his head. "No trouble at all. Thank you for letting me hold her. Liam blinked, letting him. But the Admiral continued before he could respond. Don't ever let anyone make you feel less than, he said firmly. You're doing this alone. And you're doing it right. Most people wouldn't even try. Liam swallowed the lump rising in his throat. I feel like I'm failing her. You're not, the Admiral said. You showed up. You keep showing up. That's what fathers do. For the rest of the flight, passengers who once glared now smiled at Liam. Some apologized. Some offered help. Rosie slept soundly. But the moment that stayed with Liam forever was when the Admiral stood to leave the plane. He placed a steady hand on Liam's shoulder. Your daughter has a strong father, he said quietly. And when she grows up, she'll know it. Liam didn't have words, only tears of gratitude. As the Admiral walked away, metals catching the sunlight pouring through the jet bridge, Liam felt something lift from his chest. Not just exhaustion, not just fear, hope. A reminder that kindness still existed, even in the skies.